Number two, freedom from friction. The second basic requirement for rest, for sheep to rest, is they must be free from friction, from tension, from stress, from rivalry, from cruel competition, from self assertion. Oh, so many people are caught up in this and bound up in this in their own lives or as the product of people in their lives, whether it be family members, perhaps even a spouse, loved ones, co workers, neighbors, relatives, tension, stress, rivalry, cruel competition, self assertion. This is common all through humankind, even all through the animal world. For example, chickens, they have what's known as the pecking order. Cattle have the horning order. And sheep have the butting order. And sad to say, in almost any human organization, large or small, even in many churches, people butt and quarrel and compete to be top sheep or top dog or king of the mountain. And in the process, people are hurt and they don't rest because they're dealing with all this tension and this stress and this rivalry and this competition, this self assertion, this pride, this jealousy, this envy. When people always want to get to the top, in a with the sheep, it's called the budding order. In people, since we're a sheep, you could call it the budding order. In different in our lives, and sadly, I say it, even in many churches, there's that budding order where people want to be the top sheep, the top dog, if you would. But that's not the way God intended it to be. That's not the way God meant it to be. Remember what Jesus said, Matthew 20:25 to 28. He uh, gathered the disciples together and he said, "You've observed how godless rulers throw their weight around, how quickly a little power goes to their heads. It's not going to be that way with you. Whoever wants to be great must become a servant. Whoever wants to be first among you must be your slave. This is what the Son of Man has done. He came to serve, not to be served, and then to give away his life in exchange for the many who are held hostage." We need to humble ourselves. We need to come under the shepherd's care. We don't need to be butting and pushing and striving to get to the top. Bible says, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. He will exalt you in due time. Oh, come under the shepherding of the Lord, the Master, and just enter into his rest. Remember, Jesus said, I quoted earlier, Matthew 28, "Come to me, all you who labor and a heavy burden." Oh, that verse was the key verse that Yahweh, that God used to change my whole life from darkness to life, from sin to righteousness, from lost to being found, from bondage to freedom. 47, 48 years ago, I started to read the Living Bible, which was actually even a paraphrase. And here's what it says in the paraphrase, Matthew 11:28. And I always chuckle when these people say, well, King James is the only one that God honors. It's only King James. I thought, well, you're going to have to tell God that because God used a paraphrase Bible to open my eyes and save my soul from darkness and rebellion and being an enemy of God. Apparently, God was not so hung up on it being King James only. In fact, I tried to read King James and it just gave me a headache, to be honest. I know a lot of that was demonic oppression, but it's just like thee and thou and whithersoever and couldst and wouldst and should. I'm like, what is going on here? And then I got an easy to read version of the Bible. And I thought, oh, this makes sense. And I read in Matthew 11:28 to 30 in the Living Bible, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." This was Jesus speaking. Oh, and it came alive in my heart. I read, "Come to me, and I will give you rest. All of you who work so hard beneath a heavy yoke." And I thought, boy, that's me, working hard beneath a heavy yoke. "Wear my yoke, for it fits perfectly. And let me teach you," Jesus said, "for I am gentle and humble, and you shall find rest for your souls, for I give you light burdens." And I read that all those many years ago, back about 1976, so 47 plus years ago. And oh, it just came alive in me. I thought, this is what I need. I need rest. I was trying to find rest, peace in drugs, alcohol, partying, traveling around, immoral lifestyle, and I couldn't find it. But then I read it comes to us in Jesus, and I found rest. I even tried finding it in religion, in Eastern religions, and meditation and yoga and all these things, and just looking for peace, looking for rest for my troubled soul, my troubled mind. Now, outwardly, I was doing great. And if you looked at me, you say, "Well, he's a happy fellow. He's doing good." And I tell you, I'm having a big time. I'm partying it up. But inside, I was lonely. I was confused. I was lost. And I was wondering, why am I here? What is life all about? What is the meaning of my life? What is the purpose of my life? And most people don't admit this, but I hope everybody at least thinks about this. I was thinking, what happens when I die? I'm going to die. I can't escape the grave. The last I checked, the death rate among human beings is 100%. You're not going to escape death. Doesn't it make sense to be ready for that? And I started to think this. I thought, what is beyond the grave? Is there life after death? And I tried all kinds of things. Finally, I got a Bible. And I thought, I'm just going to read this. And if nothing happens, I've read the all time bestseller. If something happens, great. And I said, God, if you're real, show me. And he did without a shadow of a doubt. That was 47 years ago, and I've never been the same. And the key verse that God used was right here. Jesus said, "Come to me. Come to me, I will give you rest." Listen to it in the Message Bible. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Oh, that was me. Come to me. Get away with me, and you'll recover your life. You'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. Glory to God. I won't lay anything heavy or ill fitting on you. Keep company with me, Jesus says, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. We'll pause there all this week. Just thank the Lord that He is your shepherd and you lie down in green pastures. You enter into divine rest. Say it by faith. Don't doubt it. Watch and see what happens. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification, share this with others. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.